Cloudflare auto-mitigates the largest ever DDoS attack. Truth Social users fall victim to an enormous amount of pig butchering scams. And I had to check this a few times to make sure I read it right, but Russia arrested 100 Russian hackers in a Cryptex crypto exchange crackdown. This is Cybersecurity Today. I'm your host, Jim Love. In a story we covered on our sister podcast, #Trending, Cloudflare not only took on and defeated a patent troll, not only won for themselves, but appears to have wiped out that troll's entire patent portfolio. And now, Cloudflare claims to have successfully mitigated the largest distributed denial of service DDoS attack ever publicly disclosed, peaking at 3.8 terabits per second. The attack was part of a month-long campaign of hyper-volumetric Layer 3 and Layer 4 DDoS attacks targeting multiple customers, with Cloudflare's defenses automatically detecting and mitigating over 100 of these attacks in September. Many of these attacks exceeded 2 billion packets per second and 3 terabytes per second, but Cloudflare's automated systems were apparently able to fend off that traffic without disrupting services. The unprecedented scale of the attack poses a threat to any unprotected or inadequately protected Internet properties. However, Cloudflare customers using services like HTTP reverse proxy, Spectrum, and Magic Transit were apparently shielded from the disruptions. The attack, which leveraged compromised devices worldwide, highlights the growing threat of DDoS campaigns that exploit vulnerable devices such as routers, DVRs, and servers to flood targets with massive traffic. Cloudflare says that its use of a global Anycast network and advanced software-defined DDoS mitigation techniques are allowing it to spread and absorb the attack across multiple data centers without impacting performance. The company utilizes dynamic real-time signatures and extended Berkeley packet filters to quickly identify and discard malicious packets, ensuring legitimate traffic continues to flow smoothly. The Cloudflare blog that details all of this is quite an interesting read. There's a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. Russian authorities have arrested nearly 100 individuals. Yes, I said it right. Russian authorities have arrested nearly 100 individuals linked to the Crypteks cryptocurrency exchange and other platforms used for illegal transactions, marking a rare crackdown on a domestic cybercriminal network. Among those arrested was Sergei Ivanov, the alleged founder of Cryptex, who was described by Russian federal police as a key suspect in the investigation. The arrests follow the United States' recent sanctions against Cryptex and Ivanov for allegedly laundering over $720 million for Russian ransomware groups. Russia's Federal Investigative Agency also targeted 33 other online services allegedly involved in selling stolen credentials and transferring illicit funds. Authorities reported that these platforms facilitated illegal activities such as currency exchange, cryptocurrency transactions, cash deliveries, and the sale of bank cards and personal accounts, with a particular focus on serving cybercriminals seeking to legalize their proceeds. The scope of the investigation is significant, with 148 raids conducted across 14 regions in Russia, and investigators believe the criminal network processed over $1 billion in 2023, yielding more than $38 million in illegal income for the suspects. The Kremlin's actions come amid growing criticism for its perceived tolerance of cybercriminal networks operating within Russia, often accused of being used as tools to further the country's influence as long as they avoid targeting domestic interests. And I thought about whether we'd post this story because we don't want to get into arguments about politics or religion, but it's a legitimate story first published in the tech blog Gizmodo, and I think it has some information that is useful to all of us. Truth Social, the social media platform launched by former U.S. President Donald Trump in 2022, is under scrutiny after new documents obtained by Gizmodo revealed significant financial losses suffered by its users. The documents, obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request, detailed numerous complaints filed with the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, about scams perpetrated on the platform. Some users have reportedly lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Scammers have reportedly used Truth Social to target vulnerable users, particularly older individuals, convincing them to invest in fraudulent schemes. In many cases, victims were contacted by scammers on the platform and then directed to continue conversation on apps like WhatsApp. Once trust was established, scammers lured users into investment opportunities, resulting in losses that sometimes amounted to hundreds of thousands of dollars. One elderly user reported losing $170,000 after being scammed by someone they met on the platform who promised to help them recover funds lost in a previous scam. The scams on Truth Social often follow a method known as pig butchering, in which victims are encouraged to make larger and larger investments under the belief that they're making wise financial decisions. The scammers then display fictitious account balances to make it appear as though the investments are growing, only to demand additional fees or taxes when users attempt to withdraw their funds. Many victims, including one man in his 60s who lost $500,000, have reported being unable to access the funds that they were told they had accumulated. Gizmodo attempted to contact representatives from Truth Social but received no response. A representative from the MZ Group, which works for Truth Social's parent company, Trump Media and Technology Group, stated there was a robust team working to identify scams and ban scammers. The article from Gizmodo has a long and comprehensive list of the various scams. We've included a link to it in our show notes. And that's our show for today. You can find links to reports and other details in the show notes at technewsday.com. We welcome your comments, tips, and the occasional bit of constructive criticism at editorial@technewsday.ca. I'm your host, Jim Love. Thanks for listening.